Chris from Riders of the Cosmic Serpent here with another battle report for you. In this battle report, we'll have Necrons versus the Eldar, and we'll be playing with just 3 objectives. Fairly standard kind of mission for the Apocalypse game, as we'll be playing an upcoming Apocalypse game against 2 other friends of ours, and so we're just testing out each other's armies on each other. And so for the objectives, I won the roll-off for placing objectives. And so I put the first one down by the statue. And then, yeah, you put the second one down.
Yeah, further back.
Further back. And then I put the last one down right into your deployment zone.
Yep. Hi, Pete here. And we're into the my Necron deployment, trying a whole new list. I had a pylon, a monolith, and 45 different little newbie Necrons getting on the field there with a Lord unit. Since it was a formation, I had to have all of those Necron warriors within 12 inches of that pylon. And we've got our Ghost Ark right there getting ready to be hijacked.
And so with the Necrons deployed, brings us to the Eldar. I deploy my Scorpion on the far edge, in behind the building. I don't know why I'm trying to grab cover, but I do. And so I only have the 2 super heavies, the Lynx and the Scorpion, deployed, and I have 2 small squads of a Farseer and Warlock each, surrounded by 6 jet bikes with shrieking cannons. And the Warlocks both have conceal, and so that pretty much sums up my deployment, as the rest of my flyers are in reserve.
So here I am in my first turn. Pretty much everything was movement. I boosted that Ghost Ark out and moved all of my Necron warriors, trying to move them towards those objectives. Sat on 1. Got 1 out of the 3 shots that I had fired off from that Necron pylon on that Scorpion, and managed to, with that hit, give it some drive damage. So Chris was limited to 6 inches if he wanted to shoot every time he moved that Scorpion.
Just limping across the battlefield.
Yeah, you weren't moving very fast. I was hoping to get a couple more hits out of that, but 1 out of 3 wasn't too bad.
And so that leads us into Eldar turn 1, with the Farseer, both Farseers casting Fortune and Guide on themselves and their units for that reroll and reroll to hits. The Lynx moves out, puts its pulsar fire onto the pylon, and the Brightland shot onto the Ghost Ark, which fails. The Scorpion is able to only move a maximum of 6 inches for its combat speed, and it puts its pulsar shots onto the pylon, which, because it only had 2 structure points, they both managed to take it out.
Yeah, that wasn't nice.
Yeah, well,
it happens. Perspective.
Yeah, it happens. And so that Ghost Ark, though, it was able to dodge a lot of fire, and I really wanted to slow that stupid thing down. And so the jet bikes basically are hiding behind the super heavies.
And here I am jumping out of the Ghost Ark with that Royal Court, and this one was a Lord's unit. This is the first time I tried this.
Yeah.
And so we've got a Lord's unit going in on
the Lynx.
The Lynx here.
1 hit smoked it.
Yeah, I tore through that unit like it was paper. That was rather nice. I think that was pretty much the only thing I really managed to accomplish that turn.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tried to get some shots off with the monolith, but wasn't really very successful. These guys didn't do much over here either. I was subbing destroyers for 2 blades.
And so Eldar turn 2. The Farseers both cast their psychic powers. The 1 unit of jet bikes moves closer to the destroyers to engage them. I only managed to draw in 2 of my bombers from reserve. The jet bikes target the command barge, and the Scorpion targets the monolith, I do believe.
I do believe you're right.
The command barge has that, what the heck is that guy's name?
Anarchar the Traveler.
Yeah, where he can try and take over a gun of somebody, and he tried in the previous turn to take over the Scorpion's pulsars.
Yeah.
And so in the shooting phase, we managed to destroy his command barge. Managed to put down a couple of the Necron.
Yeah, that's the Royal Court the
Yeah,
lords.
the Lord Royal Court. Put a few destroyers down. And so in the assault phase, the jet bikes go back to hiding behind the big bad scorpion. And these guys moving a little closer to destroyers. One managed to come back up. And that would lead us into Necron turn 3.
And Necron turn 3. So my lords hopped back in the Ghost Ark and left a smoking crater where that Lynx was. And on the reserve, I sucked through a Royal Court of Cryptek out of the portal on the monolith. And they came loaded to bear with Eldritch Lances, which really didn't do that much this game. I was hoping to see a little bit better performance, and of course the rest of it was movements on my main troops, trying to keep them in some sort of cover.
But he tried to use that power on the scorpion again.
And failed a second time. I was hoping to do that, and then of course I've got a Destroyer Lord being subbed in as a scorpion, or a spider. And he didn't really do that much either. He had a couple shots.
So Eldar turn 3. Jet bikes advance. I managed to call in most of my planes. I think I was short just the Nightwing. And so now the Eldar air power is really starting to show up. I decide to start engaging his troops, as ultimately these are the guys that are going to win him the game. And so we begin slaughtering the little robots.
Yeah, especially since I was camping on all 3 objectives at this point in time.
Yeah, so it's time for the little robots to die, and die they do. And so, this command squad gets knocked out of the Ghost Ark, and so the bombers and stuff make them fall back, as odd as that is. So they begin to fall back a bit.
I failed my roll on that. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, well, leadership 10. I mean, you gotta take enough tests, you will fail eventually.
So here we are coming into Necron turn 4, and my scarabs are now coming onto the table. Not close enough to that spider to be able to
Spawn more.
My lords trying to rally there and trying to get them back in near that scorpion. And there you see my regular troops getting whittled down slowly but surely.
Yeah, just 2 troops left.
And my Eldritch Lance is not doing much of any damage whatsoever on that scorpion, and those poor lords just not getting.
No, I think you took a structure point that time too.
One structure of it?
Yeah, I think you took a structure point off of it.
Could be right. And then, of course, those scarabs, even though you were whittling them down, I think we pretty much kept that entire unit locked up the rest of the game at this point.
Yeah.
They did their job.
Yeah, they were shut down for most of the game.
Yep, absolutely.
And so Eldar turn 4. The Scorpion provides more cover, stopping the path. The Eldar jet bikes, the Farseer doesn't bother casting powers, as I intended to boost them across to capture that objective. And so the planes all form up. The Nightwing finally joins the formation. And so now all my fighters and planes and bombers are all on the table, and it looks absolutely scary on the table. And so basically we continue the slaughter of the little robot things, but as annoying as it is, these stupid little guys keep getting back up, and that's how do you take a destroyer hit and get back up? I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense.
Hey, I don't write the rules. It's called reanimation. So here we are coming into Necron turn 5, and still got my Cryptek Spider, as you see there, being subbed with a Destroyer Lord still on the table. Not very many of my Lords left, and I'm down to 1 little Royal Court Cryptek left over. My Monolith is now out of action, and all of my troops are pretty much annihilated. At this point in time, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that the Eldar have taken the game because I've got no scoring troops left. But
still tried to deliver some hurt.
Still tried to deliver some hurt here, and as you can see, that Royal Court of Lords, nice try to get in close to that Scorpion. Came up an inch short on that darn assault.
Yeah, and they probably would have kicked the crap out of it too.
Yeah, I wanted to send, just for retaliation, I wanted to send it the way of the Lynx.
Yeah, they probably would have.
They performed way better than I had anticipated.
Oh yeah.
Way better than I had anticipated. But overall, a good test of the list anyway.
Yeah, and so Eldar, final turn, just cleaning up these scarabs. Not much left of the Necrons. There's only a few units left, and so we pretty much call it at this point. As the skies are full of my airplanes cruising all over the place. I've got one unit controlling the objective. The Necrons have no ability to control or contest that objective, and so...
So at this point, I have to concede that the Eldar have wiped the Necron off again.
Yeah. It's okay, though.
That's alright. It was all in good fun.
Yeah. Necron will have their day.
Yeah.
Just not that day.
It was fun regardless. Congratulations.
Good day.